you, those who are joining from the wherever you are. Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. And welcome to the Innovation Tech Community. I'm Pratap, the Azure AI MVP. And today, our expert speaker, the Kasam Saik. He's a AMVP. So today he is sharing about the prompt engineering concepts and everything. Nowadays the trending concept is the Azure OpenAI and copilots and everything. The everything is depends upon this prompt engineering only. So without prompt engineering, these LLM models are nothing. So everything we have to know from Kasam. So Kasam, are you ready to please share your info and everything, and then let's get started.
Yeah, are you able to see my screen, the
One
slide?
second. Yeah, I just yes.
Okay, so we can start, right?
Yes, you can.
Okay. So very warm greetings, folks, who have joined for this session, and a big shout to Pratap and Azhar for organizing this Global AI Summit and having me as a part of this event for presenting and again an interesting session of mine. And I believe it's an interesting session for all of you who have joined today. It's all about prompts engineering. Okay, so it's whether it's an art and science or your next job title. So to begin with, like a small introduction of myself, I am Kasam Sheikh. I'm an Microsoft MVP AI. I work as a senior architect and Gen AI SME with Capgemini. Uh, I'm an author of 4 books, mostly on Azure and AI. I run an Azure AI community in India with the name Dear Azure. Um, and I too host similar sessions, boot camps, in person events, mostly in Mumbai. You can connect with me over the LinkedIn, X, GitHub, and all the channels. I'm there with the same handle. Um, so let's quickly come to the topic. Okay. So I hope people who have joined must be knowing about what is LLM. It's a very trending topic, trending word, buzzword nowadays. Okay. And so I will not touch base more on that because I want to focus on prompts more. Uh, so building a LLM based app. Okay, so what it is exactly, how the things are. It's a very high level kind of flow. Like you have your application, you have some inputs from the user, you passed your request to the LLMs providers like with it could be a single foundation models or multiple set of foundation models, a kind of LLM stuff, and you pass your request, of course, via an API. The LLM process your request. It sends back the response to your application. Then you take that response, massage that particular response, and show it into your application. So this is a very typical kind of very high level request response. Of course there are many factors involved, but all that is all depend on how the complexity is of your application. Now this is what I'm talking about. It's not a kind of hello world example. Okay, I'm talking about a kind of mid level or kind of complex examples, complex applications. It's not hello world, hello and kind of return world. No, nothing like that. Now there are many models. Okay, there are many models, LLM models in which is being released for the use, and it's a kind of mix. Um, Proprietary based models, open source models, vendor based models, and all. I've just listed few. It's not all, and of course this list is increasing day by day. So I've just included some of the models with their owners, kind of, who have given out or who leads this model, who owns this model, sort of. So there are Mid Journey, there are Llama from Meta, of course, GPT, uh, DALI from OpenAI. There are some of the models which have very niche capabilities, like about biosecurity and all. There are few open source models too as part of. There are multimodal models also which is being listed here. But in all these models, be it comes from any of the source like open source or proprietary or something, be it any of the model, there is one thing remains common in all things. Okay. In all these models, in talking to all these models, there is one common thing. Now maybe it's a kind of mid journey bot, or maybe it's kind of my GitHub copilot or M365 copilot, um, anything, or maybe it's a kind of chat GPT service made upon that LLM. The one common thing remains is prompt, right? So what is prompt? Now understand, there is a difference between prompts and prompt engineering. Okay, it's not when you're talking to LLM it's prompt. Okay, prompt is something which is a way, or you can say it's an kind of input from a user to talk with LLMs. That is prompt. It's a very simple definition. Um, a way, or the input or the request sent to the LLM is prompt. Okay, now this prompt is in very simple language. You can say English as a new programming language if you want. Okay, for the prompts, and there are ways, okay, to have this prompt, or to have the manners, like you can say manners to talk to the LLMs to get your request. So now what is prompt engineering? So prompt engineering is, it's a kind of designing this prompt. Okay, designing, when I say designing this prompts, means to write, to have it from the scratch. Okay, refining it, changing it again and again, optimizing it. Okay, optimizing in the sense making it short craves, making it more simple, uh, creating some kind of context. So we'll see what all comes in when it comes to optimizing and all those stuff. So we'll see in our later slides. But to understand the difference between prompt and prompt engineering, I'm talking about prompt engineering. As such, it's a process of designing, refining, and optimizing the input prompts. Okay, that input prompts. Why why to get an appropriate output, or rather an accurate output, or rather kind of the desirable output, but in a cost efficient way. So if you see, I've highlighted that particular line, keeping cost efficiency, because that is very important part. That is very important aspect when you kind of deal with this LLM based models. Okay, because tokens, oh sorry, we'll come to it, because prompts or your inputs, okay, when it is being deal by LLM, these prompts, okay, these prompts are basically the rate, or the part where the cost is associated. Okay, for example, you must have worked with APIs, right? So how that API costing is calculated, it's number of requests sent, right? Request sent, request received, kind of those are some of the units which are being considered as a part of cost. But what in case of prompts, what in case of LLM? So these prompts are the rates, are decides how the cost is being calculated. Okay, so basically, in very simple language, English is your new programming language, first. Second, this prompts, why it known as prompt engineering? Because when you deal with this kind of co-pilots, when you deal with this kind of services, which is all based on LLMs, it all depends upon how you write your prompts, how you refine your prompts, how you optimize your prompts to make your response, to get a response in a very accurate way, to get your response in a desirable way. Okay, of course, while keeping the cost in mind. Got it? Prompts, prompt engineering. Okay. Now, there is something known as prompts anatomy. So, what it is exactly, what it is all about. So first, before this, just a small touch base, like why we need this prompt engineering, all about why we need all this engineerings to be done. So very first thing is your models. It all depends upon your model capabilities. Okay, to which model you are talking, how that model is being trained, by when it got trained. Okay, how well that model can respond to your query, how well that model will respond to what you are mainly asking for. For example, some models have a capability of sending only images. Some models have capability of creating new content in a creative way. Some models can give you a kind of code as a response. There are multimodal models also available. Okay, and now there is a new model which is coming in, which is text to video, Sora. Okay, it's not yet available for all, but I believe OpenAI has released it. Released in the sense they have introduced it uh, yesterday, few days, last week itself, about text to model, a text to video kind of model. Okay, it is not available to use now, but they have come up with that capability. So it all depends like what your requirement is. So models capabilities differs. Okay, and based on that models, your prompts should differ. Your prompts may get changed. Now this how this prompts will talk to your LLMs in a best way. Okay, be it any of the models. So there are few things you need to take care while writing your prompts. Very first thing is instructions. Okay, you need to provide a proper instruction to your prompt. Keep it very simple, in a very simple language. Okay, in a very, now English is not tough language for you guys. Like it's not about you need to write in C sharp, Python, Java, Ruby kind of. It's plain English. That's what how you will talk. That's what it's all about, prompts. Okay, so here let's go that with that instruction line by line. Okay, so first is write a product launch email for new headphones. Okay, so it's a clear instruction. Okay, like what we need to do, we need to write an email, and this is for the new headphones. Now provide kind of some kind of input data to what you want. Okay, what that instruction depends on. So now, as you said in the first line, that it's about product launch email, and that is for the new headphones. What that new headphones is all about, give that some input data to in that. So it's like this product is an AI powered and prices so and so. So now you gave an input, you gave an data based on that instruction. So instruction was to write an email, and for the new headphones, and it's a product launch. What is the input, or what is the data uh, which relates to that instruction, that this product, this new headphone, is an AI powered one. Okay, and so is the price. Now set a context. Very important stuff. Set a context. Context would be like the tone of the email. Okay, so it is friendly, it is exciting. Okay, and, the tone could be in a proud way. The tone could be in a humble way. For example, you're writing an um uh, email that you received so and so award. Okay, for example, you received an MVP award, and you're letting your bosses know in your office, your colleagues. You want to show that, okay, I've won an MVP, I got recognized as an MVP. So how that mail will be, how that tone would be, it will be a kind of exciting one, right? An exciting tone, a proud tone kind of. So you need to set behind a context of what you exactly want your response to be. So here in this case it was a launch email, so like you need to be very excited about this product, and should be a very friendly tone with the audience. S- Next is the target. Okay, in what format you want your response to be. Now this is like, as we said about, as we talked about the application, so it is always a kind of, JSON is always a kind of lightweight stuff. uh, the payloads and all, and you can, then you can massage, or you can uh, uh, work on that particular response and have it in your UI or in your front end application. So it could be JSON, it could be an HTML, it could be a CSV based, it could be an uh, pipeline separated stuff, anything the target which you decide. So in this case they have decided kind of a JSON object with so and so fields, and they have given an example like how it would be. So it also gave an example. Okay, now giving, what is giving this example, how what all examples you should give, how and what is this technique, we will see in our later slides. But I'm just setting up now. I am setting up a context. Okay, I am trying to set up a context. So I told you that this is all about prompt engineering. I provided some data, like what we need to do, refine and all, how the things are. I'm now setting up the context. Like, see this, it is like there are more techniques, how to optimize this, cost efficiency is the time, and now I'm giving you an example with this example. So it is all based on a very simple output, very simple input which we do in our day-to-day stuff. But it is the differences here. I am dealing with a live audience. There in prompts you need to deal with an LLM models. Okay, and of course the q is something, the output, the initiation of the output, kind of you can start it with, like you can say, uh, here I am with an, for based on this example, you can write as I am very much excited. That's it. Now it will continue with that line, that I am very much excited, and then the response will continue based on your above all the examples. So that is q. Tokens, a very important part in prompts. Okay, now what is this tokens are all about? Tokens are the way LLM recognize your inputs or recognize your prompts and send back as a response. Like you write a simple natural language kind of input text. That text is converted into tokens and recognized as a tokens. LLM produce the next probable tokens based on what the input is. It creates all that particular in a form of tokens, and then it is again converted back into the natural language, and you get as a response. This tokens, this number of tokens is what your pricing depends on. This number of tokens is your pricing unit for LLMs. And hence, this is very important to engineer your prompts, because the way you write your prompts is the way it convert gets into token. And that is that token, that input and output, that tokens which get generated as a part of your entire talk flow, is how your cost is depends, how your costing is being associated. Okay, now basically these tokens are, you know you can consider as on an average 5 characters as one token, on an average. But it all depends upon how the things are, how the words familiar are, how what all words is coming in, what all space and many things are depend. Now I am not a data scientist, so I cannot go deep into how these tokens are get converted or how these tokens are created. But I can tell you a kind of very simple stuff, like it's an you can consider on an average 4 to 5 characters as one token, and it also based upon the popularity, or it also based upon a kind of the known words to that particular models. Okay, so for example you can see here, for the words such as launch, email, product, okay, that has considered as one token. But if you can see this introducing, okay, it has considered as two words, two tokens, introduce and sing. Okay, so it all depends how this is being calculated. Now a disclaimer here, I am talking about only OpenAI and Azure OpenAI models. This tokenization differs with different LLMs. Okay, so make sure, like what LLMs you're talking to and how that tokens are generated. So it all depends upon the based on the LLMs, how these tokens are getting calculated. So here I'm talking about OpenAI and Azure OpenAI models. And one of the best example is here. Okay, there is an web portal named on the OpenAI platform, OpenAI website, that is platform.openai.com/tokenizer. Okay, I'll share this link with you all. You can yourself try it out. So whatever you write over here, it will tell you how much, how it has converted into token. So if we just give copy this line here, so it will let you know. So this is 153 characters, and it is counted as 34 token. So you can see how your OpenAI models, here it is 3.5 and GPT-4. So how it is converting or calculating it as a token. Okay, now here I will come up again with an interesting stuff. Okay, so hope you get a very gist of what tokens are all about. Okay. So as I told you, it all your costing all depends upon the token. So this is a very old screenshot. You can check out the website for the new costings for based on these models. But just to make you understand about the costing part, if you see it all depends upon the models, the number of the context, the max payload or the max size of the tokens it can handle, and prompts per 1000 token kind of, the pricing per 1000 token completion and all those. So this, if you say this for 1000 token and all this is where I was talking about, the very important part of the cost associated with the tokens. So it doesn't depends upon your you know kind of the way or the length of your prompts as such, because the way you write your prompts, and that is where the engineering part comes into the picture, right? So the best part, when you select the models to for you in your application, is first is like use the the costliest or the heaviest model first and start with your prompts. See whether you're getting the proper response as such. If you start getting the proper response, eventually start decreasing that model, like from the highest version to fewer lowest version. Okay, and see whether you are getting the proper results as such, and if you get the satisfactory or the desired output result, that's fine. So this is one of the way you can select the strategy to select your models as such. Of course you can use multiple models also, but it all depends upon what your requirement is. But we are not much talking about those model stuff. It all depends upon the, we are talking about the prompts now. Second most thing which many people ignore while having this prompt engineering stuff is about the efficiency in using the space. Okay, so you need to be very careful in adding up the the white spaces or any characters, anything in your prompts. And you can check this uh, in the tokenizer portal which I have shared. Just for an example, you can see on the right hand side, I have written the same date in 4 different formats. Okay, but just see how that date differs or how the tokens are differing. So the very first, that is November 30, 2022, it is taking as 3 tokens. The second, it is taking 1, 2, 3, 4. Third, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And fourth one is here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so you can see, if you go with the length in writing this date formats, everyone like in a very general stuff, we can say the 30/11/2022 is the shortest way or shortest format to mention this date, right? But if you can see carefully, that is taking the highest count of tokens, that is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. And The very first one, which we can see or we can notice as a quite lengthiest way to write the date format, is taking only three tokens. Okay, so here in our case, when it is being passed in the prompts, the first one is most recommended, right? And here where your engineering stuff lies, like how the thing should be, how your prompt should be in a best, in the less token, a kind of best way to talk to the LLMs, and where the cost is affected, or the where the cost will play an important role. So you can try out different formats. Uh, with that portal, you can see how that token differs. Of course, you can, rather than, and one more thing, if you see, every space is being counted as a token, right? See, if there is a space, it is getting counted, right? So make sure that you try to, when you ask for the target format, kind of you have a sort of a tabular format data, or a kind of, a data with some pipelines, sort of delimiters kind of. So that particular stuff, the way you talk, the way the languages make, that will make a difference, that will make a difference in based on this tokenizations and based on your cost. So the space efficiency is most important, or one of the most important part, which you need to remember every time when you're trying to work with this engineering stuff. So this all again I have explained you, like be very much specific, give the instruction, clear instruction, provide the datas and all. Try to again double down the stuff. Try to write the things in a different style. Try to write in a more crisp manner, in a very simple stuff, what exactly you want. Give your model a kind of out or a cue from how you want it get to started, or the formats. So these are very general recommendations, and this aligns also with the technical recommendations, that give the clear instructions, repeat that instructions again, give some examples, try to break down the task, try to provide the proper syntax and all. uh, Again, this fourth point, temperature and drop probabilities, it's not a point, or in a kind of in scope in today's agenda, but remember this response, these models are very stochastic in nature. So when I say stochastic in nature, it means that the response you get from LLMs varies very drastically. Okay, every time you give the same prompt or same input, it will give you some very creative kind of responses. And to how to deal with that particular stuff, how to deal with this variness or the stochastic nature of LLMs. So there are many things, but one of the most important stuff is temperature. One parameter is temperature. So it is from 0 to 1. Okay, and recommended is zero point 0.7. So you can have this temperature as zero point 0.7 to get a very similar kind of, examples. It will not vary in a most drastic way. The more it is less, like 0, it will not respond in it will be very deterministic in its reply, in its response. It will not vary. For 1, it will vary drastically. So recommended is 0.7. And if you have got chance to work with the OpenAI playground, or whenever you get a chance to work with Azure OpenAI Studio or OpenAI Playground, you can see on the right hand side there are some settings known as temperature, where you can set this. So you can give the same input, change the temperature to 0, try to see what response and how it changes, then make it 1, then give the same input again, then make it 0.7, and see how it varies. So there are many things, probabilities, stop index, and many things, but temperature is one of the uh, you know I thought to mention it here, because it is also a part of your payload when you uh, you know uh, deal with these LLMs in your code, or when you send input or send a prompt with your OpenAI keys and everything. So temperature is part of that part. Of course, and with every aspect of AI, it comes responsible AI. as always a prime and very important stuff which you need to always be careful about. So when you talk to, or when you write a prompt, when you give an instruction, you need to be very much sure that your responses should not be a kind of biased one. Your responses should not be a kind of false one. It should not hallucinate in giving you out the response. So all make yourself make your prompts, give your prompts a very nice examples, like what exactly you want, what you do not want. Okay, make sure, make explicitly that you don't want. If you don't know the answer, say I don't know the answer, kind of. Your tone should be very much polite. It should not be in a kind of harsh, sarcastic sort of course it all depends, but then make sure that it should be always positive, polite, and kind of engaging one. If you're refusing, if you're saying no, that saying no should be in a very affirmative one, kind of. uh, of course, about the safety to what you should not reply, what you don't want to have it in your, because it will come as a part of user input, the outer world input. So could be anything, but you need to make sure in your base, your prompts or in your template, that it should take care of uh, the filter stuff, or it should filter out the hate, or the filter out the one which you don't want to be a part of. Okay, now let's come to the techniques. Okay, so initially I talked about giving the examples. So here it is. What about, you can see a zero shot one. So these are few techniques which you can use in part of your prompts when dealing with dealing with the models. Of course, so there is something known as zero shot where you don't give any examples. Okay, so you can see it has given a question, okay, to customize, or sorry, to classify the customer questions. Okay, and it is just they have given three categories, like this kind of. Okay, and now they have given a clear input, like what package do you have in an auto insurance. So basically it should respond with one. Okay, but it has not given any example. So this, they have just given this uh the classifications, and just started with the input and ask, and they're expecting some response. So this is zero shot prompts, okay, with no examples. Now what is few short examples? So again, using the same stuff, they have again given the classification, but here you can see they have given some examples, like if the question is about flood insurance, the answer should be 2. Now you must be thinking like, okay, it is just an simple example. Okay, of course it should be a simple example, but by this LLM comes to know that how the response would be. The response would be in one word. Okay, the response would be only the number of this thing, like 1, 2, or 3, and nothing as kind of, again, a big description why it has come to this conclusion, nothing. So here there was no example, so you can expect such response, any response for that matter. Even it can give you some false reply to this part. But here by giving a setting up an example, you are saying that, okay, no, if at all this comes with an flood insurance, you have to search from this and just give replies one word one. And then this third part, then they have given a kind of question. So now based on this example only, it will reply as 1, 2, or 3. Okay, so here you're letting uh, your models know that how the response are expected. So here now this is zero shot because there was no examples. Here it is few shots because it has given two examples. It can also give one example, and that is known as one shot. Okay, so it is all kind of new words but the same terms. So zero shot, no example. One shot, one example. More than one example, few shots. Understood? Simple. Chain of thoughts. This is basically used, this technique is used when there is some calculations or stuffs are involved. Okay, so as you can see here, it has asked, it has put up some calculations like this is the thing, this is the thing, and what is the answer. And of course it came up with some wrong answer. It's not necessary that it will always come up with wrong answer, but as I said, you cannot trust the response. So it is like in this example, it has shown that it has given a wrong example. So what to do to avoid such things when it comes to kind of calculations, when you have to calculate or do some steps before getting the answers? That is, chain of thoughts is to breaking down or to let the models know how to calculate this by step. So the same question is asked here, and it is being explained step by step how to calculate. Okay, step 1, step 2, step 3, and now the answer is right. Okay, now if you break down this stuff, if you give that thought like how the things would be, how the reasoning would be, it will give you an more accurate answers based on your breaking stuff. Now I'm not going into demo part. I will share you one link. Okay, it's a kind of sort of workshop, and you can yourself go to that link. Just have register yourself over there. You will get a key for a minimum duration, and use that key. Go to that stuff, follow that instructions, and you will have this playground, and you can do yourself with all the examples given there. All the examples are related to what I'm talking about, the zero shot, few shot, chain of thoughts, and all. So you can yourself go and try out with your own data. Okay, data in the sense your own examples. So as we have less time, I don't want to get into that demo stuff again and again, so you can go yourself. So I would request Pratap that please share that link to the audience of that workshop. It same comes to in the calculation part as well for the few shots, a few short modes. Again, it's a very um, you know similar stuff of giving the examples, how to do the stuff, how to calculate the stuffs. This is one shot, few shot, and that remains the same. Prompt chaining is another important technique or interesting technique, I can say. This is a very lay example which I have put it up over here. It's all about getting a sentiment analysis of a particular stuff. You can directly have that part and check it, but just to make it explain like what prompt chaining is, it's a kind of doing the stuff one by one to that particular input or for that particular what do we say, request. So here this is the request. So what we did, first we tried to extract the entity, then we used the response of the first stuff, this, as a part of second one, we are summarizing that thing, and then we are finding out the sentiment analysis. So this is about the example. So what prompt chaining you can do is you can uh, perform certain actions on the requests which are coming in, and whatever results you are getting in as a part of your first action, you can use that particular reason for the second stuff, for the second action. So this is how you can chain your prompts to get the final output or the final desirable output. This example doesn't suit here, but it is just to explain you how the things are. So we wanted to have a kind of sentiment analysis for this. So what we did, we tried to first try to extract the entity, then we summarize the entity, and then we uh, asked what is the sentiment. Okay, so this is what it is all about. Prompt chunking is something as a part of RAG. RAG is again a very interesting uh, what do you say subject. We can talk about drag a whole day. So it's a very interesting subject. So it just prompt chunking is part of it. Like to give you an high level gist on this, consider you have a 5,000 page no 5,000 page word document, and you need to summarize it. Okay, and as you know that the context of all the models, there are some limitations for that thing. It will, for example, the models which you are using will not take more than 1200 words for doing the things. So what you will do in that case, so you can chunk it down your words, your word document, or your word 5,000 words into small parts, small chunks. So 1,000 into five stuffs. Okay, so basically, you have 5,000 words, you chunked it in 1,000 kind of, and then you try to all the outputs you have just summarized it, and you are using that particular the summarization or the final output whatever you want based for that particular 5,000 words you are applying on this five results. Okay, so it is basically you have your documents, you separated it into this, and then you have just used that and you are passing it that particular stuff for getting the final output. So that is usually part of RAG. So you will understand more when you go through that retrieval augmented generation stuff. Hallucinate. So this was the word of the year for Cambridge in 2023, which our LLMs mostly does. Okay. So what you can do to reduce this hallucination behavior of the LLMs. So of course, you have to say what you don't want as a part of your response. Always you should mention that, okay, if you don't know, say I don't know. Don't try to make up the facts. So this is some of the things which you need to uh, consider while writing your prompts. Okay, like giving the step by step results, explaining what exactly you want as a response, giving some examples. Okay, so this few things, if you if you take care of, you can definitely reduce that hallucination behavior. uh, Bringing your data, or you can also ground your data models with the data which you want. This is a part of RAG. Okay, this is what RAG is all about, a very high level stuff. Like when the uh, there is any queries or any input comes from the user, then you try to find that particular stuff into your own data, into your own knowledge base, and not with the LLMs, with your own. For example, you have something document stored in your storage kind of, you try to find it in that particular stuff, then you create a prompt that the result which you get from your own knowledge base or from your own database, you try to create the prompts, you query that particular stuff, the user input and whatever you got, and then you pass it to LLMs to get a result. So this is a very high level stuff for LLM workflow. It's very interesting topic. I believe we have something, or if at all, uh, uh, there is a global AI bootcamp coming in from 2nd March. Okay, 2nd to 10th of March. So try to register yourself in that global AI bootcamp as well. Maybe happening in person around you, or there are some virtual events also happening. So definitely this will be one of the topic in that, and you can know more about this. Uh, Langchain and Semantic. These are some of the libraries or some of the things which you can use as a part of your LLM based application development. It's basically tries to again orchestrate some of your our external sources with your user inputs, get some more data as a part of knowledge base, and just try to get the data from the external, try to build it up, and then go to the particular kind of LLMs to get back the things. So it's a very interesting one, Langchain and Semantic. You can definitely try it out. I've given the links. Prompt Flow is again a part of Azure OpenAI, which they have def- given a part as an again an orchestrated work to get with the talk with the external sources or multiple external sources to build up the prompts. Uh, Again, a very interesting and big topic about Azure Prompt Flow. I would recommend definitely go through Microsoft Learn or Microsoft Docs for this. It's a very interesting stuff when building up the prompts. These are few of the free learning resources. Okay, for starting up with prompts or to know about how to write a prompt, how to deal with LLMs. These are all free. Or it comes with deep learning, with OpenAI, Microsoft Learn. This generative AI for beginners from Microsoft is a very interesting stuff again, where you can know about what are LLMs, what are private LLMs, what are proprietary LLMs, what are open source one, why you need a prompt engineering, how to do that prompt engineering, how to build an application using these prompts and LLMs and everything. So they have given, they have curated a very interesting course, and it is absolutely free. So you can definitely go over there. And this is something very helpful again as a part of Microsoft Learn, where you can upskill with your some few of the cloud skill challenges. You can get some credentials. Of course, you can upgrade your skills. Uh, that is ak.ms/learn at AI tour. So that is a part of the AI tour, which was the skill challenge was introduced. So you can definitely go there and have your skill tested. And thank you. So here I am. So you can anyways connect with me over the LinkedIn, over X, over GitHub anytime, and I will be there for for your answering all your queries. Thank you.
Thank you, Kasam, for that. Guys, if you have any doubts or queries, this is the right time to drop them in the comment section. And for the next 5 minutes, we'll be attending the queries. And Kasam, I think this session is, excellent because, when session happening on prompt engineering, they will be talking about LLMs, prompt engineerings, and, here and there, they'll go to the, services, show some demos. But I found it really useful because you exclusively, concentrated on the prompt engineering part, all the techniques, all the, the background stuff which happens on the when prompting. And they will also have an misconception about prompting and prompt engineering, so you also made that clear. So even I learned a lot of things in this session, so thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
Okay, so any questions? Okay, we had a question earlier. Let me display that. Okay, how does prompt engineering contribute to advancing the fields of AI and shaping our interactions with technology?
Okay. So as I said, very good question, Kanga. Okay. So as I said, like, may it be any part of LLM, may it be anything, any service or application which comes as a part of LLM, any copilots, M365 or anything. The main thing, or the base stuff lies on the prompts, like how you deal with it. And that this is where prompts engineering plays a very important role in not only dealing with or writing or using these pilots or co-pilots as such, but also when it comes to the AI development part. Okay. So this is where all these things are this is where this prompt engineering plays an important role. And when I say engineering, of course it involves cost, and cost involves all the things, be it your organizational values, be it your business add-on values, everything. So that's the reason it will play an important role. Hope that answers.
Yes, and we have Mehul asking for, will the slides be available since a couple of them have links mentioned. The links, I'll be sharing them in the comment section, and I will also, pin them over there. And for the slides, Kasam has to answer, I guess.
Yes, yes, definitely. I will share that the slides with you, and you can pass it on to the attendees. And Mayul, we are always in touch, so I will connect with you. I will share that.
Okay, that's great. So, guys, any other questions? And if you have any other questions, please feel free to ping Kasam. He will be, more than happy to address
Yes,
them.
yes,
And
I will
mhm.
definitely, I will be very much happy to connect. If you guys have any question, just ping me on LinkedIn. Maybe it will not be a prompt reply, but I will definitely reply.
That's good.
Yeah,
So that's great. And
yes,
if you want these recordings, these will be available in the YouTube and all the other streaming platforms we have mentioned here. That might take maybe by the end of today or tomorrow. We'll have those links posted and pinned as well. So Pratap, do you have anything to add here?
yeah. Thank you so much, Kasam. So I think you have a great session at Expert Live India, but unfortunately your health is not good. So, but I am hats off to you. You're great for to this session as well. You explained a lot of information. I just just observed the back end. So you explained about the tokens and the licenses and OpenAI. So that I think yesterday the OpenAI launched something about I didn't know something that
Sora,
word. Sora,
Sora.
yeah. So yeah, few more people are, I mean, here in the Chennai as well, lots of students and tech engineers, they told me that, Pratap, do you heard about Sora? Sora? No, no, bro, I have not heard about that, Sora. So I just look into that. So I have an global AI summit. I am very much, I mean, active in this one. After this one, I can look into that one. So you explained that one as well. And yeah, so thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity to share your insight to our community. Yeah, thank you
Yeah.
so much, Kasam.
Yes.
Yeah, and
So
take care of your
just
health as
before,
well.
yeah, just before ending, I would again request all the users and attendees and you also to, we have the Global AI Bootcamp coming in March, that is 2nd to 10th.
Yeah,
So please encourage, or I would recommend all of you to, register for that, for the in-person events happening in and around, or the virtual events. And definitely it will
mhm.
be a very, interesting again with all these new topics, rags and everything.
Yes, yes, of course, definitely we have to promote that our I mean, Dear Azure and the global AI community as well. So that is a great chance to. I mean, so right? So the AI is the future, up to 5 years or 10 years. So that will be everything depends upon the AI. So now we say that the copilots everywhere, like that. The AI is everywhere up to 10 years. So maybe.
Yes,
So
yes, yes,
please.
yes.
Yeah, stay tuned to the dear I mean, dear Azure and Kasam Seko. He will upload all the updates regarding the latest upcoming events and everything. So stay tuned to that team. So that's all for my side. And if you want to share anything related to this, yeah, I mean, you are also the fifth. I mean, I think first MVP that you got this right. I'm not sure. So, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm an MVP before ChatGPT. You can mention that.
yeah, yeah, before ChatGPT. Yes, I
AI
yeah.
MVP,
So
AI MVP. Yeah,
few more people told me that Kasam is mentioned that before after something in that head name he mentioned about this before ChatGPT. I got the MVP in AA. They told me like that.
no, no. Actually, I saw one. I follow one of the AI developers, AI
Mhm.
engineer, and he comes up with very interesting demos, POCs every time. So he has changed
Yeah.
his name on X, saying that I am an AI engineer way before ChatGPT. So I like that word. So
Yeah.
I also mentioned that I'm an MVP AI since way before ChatGPT. So it
That
was
was
a
great
nice one.
thing.
It's nothing. It's not. It was nothing a kind of sarcastic one, but then cool. I thought a nice title one again.
Yes, yes, of course, Kasam. So I mean, thank you so much for the remembering one. So I think 2 months or 3 months back, so we have a chit chat with one of our mentor. So he told me that the Kasam means he mentioned as the word like before ChatGPT. That was very good. So I'm also, I mean, very much interested about that word he mentioned about his after his name that word. So really appreciate that. That
Yeah.
innovative ideas. Only you guys are having this one. And
It's all about
guys,
sharing,
stay,
caring. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, guys, stay tuned to the Dear Azure community. I mean, every week or every month, Kasam is conducting the events and AA, especially AA. So thank you so much, Kasam, and we will share
Yeah.
the recording by the end of the day or tomorrow. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
yeah,
Thank you for
yeah,
having me, and very best of
yeah,
luck for all the next sessions. Bye bye.
yeah, yeah. 50 people are joined on live on LinkedIn. So we have only few limited invitations, but 50 plus people are joining on the live.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, thank you, guys.
Bye.
Bye.